Welcome, everybody, to the Grueling Truths Legends of Boxing show brought to you by MyBookie.ag. I'm your host, Mike Goodpaster, and today I want to welcome in a special guest, former IBF Super Featherweight Champion of the World, former World Lightweight Champion of the World. Help me welcome to the Grueling Truth, Tony the Tiger Lopez. How you doing, Tony?
Hey, how's it going, my man?
It's going good. Great. Really appreciate you coming on and talking to us today.
Glad to do it, man. Anytime. You know that.
All right. Let's just start off from the beginning. Tell us a little bit about your childhood and when you first started to box.
I kind of inherited it. You know, my dad did it. My brother did it. I inherited it. My brother did it. He was actually a better boxer than I was. My brother was, he became number 3 in the world at one time. We were kind of training at the same, boxing at the same time as a pro. But obviously he started before me. He's my older brother. And, it was just one of the things. It's something I like doing, because I was always, let's just say I was very active as a child. In my teens, I was really active. Got in trouble here, there, just doing stupid things. But the crazy thing was I liked fighting. And so if it came to boxing or something getting in my way of boxing, I wouldn't do the stupid stuff because I wanted to box, because I wanted to fight, because I like fighting. And that's what kind of just kept me going the way I went,
All right, so let's talk a little bit about your amateur career.
Ooh, what do you want to know about my amateur career?
Well, just tell us a little bit. We get
some
some guys on here that... Go ahead.
From 73 to about 83, I was an amateur. I started when I was here's how my amateur career started. No lie, this is all true. I walked into a gym, let's say on a Monday. I started training at my brother's gym with Jerry Jacobs, who was the trainer at the time. That Friday was the Reno Junior Olympics. Now, mind you, I started Monday. I think it was Monday or Tuesday, but I started that earlier that week. I knew nothing, but I knew I liked to fight.
Yeah.
So the kid I weighed 65 pounds. The kid that was also fighting in the Junior Olympics had been training for a while. He weighed 65 pounds, and then I think he quit before the Junior Olympics before that Friday. So Jerry asked me, the trainer asked me, he goes, "Hey man, you willing to take this guy's place? He goes, they're going to fight this weekend in Reno." And I go, "Yeah." I was excited. I go, "Yeah, I'll do it." So that night, Jerry calls my dad and says, "Hey, can Tony fight in Reno at the fights with the Olympics?" My dad says, "Yeah, if he feels like it, yeah, let him do it." So, so we go down. It was Manuel Maldonado, and his son Nick Maldonado, and myself were going to Reno to the fight in the Olympics in Reno. So the first night, they said, "Hey, we got a replacement for the guy." The guy, he quit. They said, "Well, who's this kid?" He goes, "Well, he just started." He goes, "This is Tony." He goes, "Well, how many fights do you have?" He goes, "He has no fights." He goes, "Well, how long has he been training?" He goes, "He started this week." And the whole time, Manuel Maldonado was laughing. He's got this laugh on his face. He's kind of grinning like this is funny, right? And, I'm a kid. I'm looking at him like, I'm ready, And like, put me in, coach. And then so we fight. And so Manuel basically tells me, "Hey, man, I don't know what to tell you because you don't know anything." I said, "Okay, no problem." So we get into the ring. I have these old... Now, remember, this is 1973, right? I'm 10 years old. So, and back then I had the white gym shorts that you can see your, if you were Fruit of the Loom shorts, you see your Fruit of the Loom stickers through them.
Yeah.
And you had these white tennis shoes, Kmart tennis shoes, and my pants were so tight that I had to put the cup on the outside because I didn't know anything. So we get up there and we get in the ring, and the referee says, the referee gives, takes to the center, and they do all that stuff. And so they announce him, and I hear, this crowd just go crazy. It's from the Reno Mighty Mike. And I'll tell you his name. His name is Johnny Samples. From the Reno Mighty Mike.
Yeah.
And so, they said my name. There's a couple claps. I'm looking like, okay, whatever, So Manuel Maldonado, the bell rings, Manuel Maldonado, I look at Manuel goes, well, go out there and fight. So this guy comes out, but he comes out there like he's windmilling his punches. And I've never seen that before. And I'm looking at Manuel Maldonado, I turn back and look at Manuel, now the bell's already rang. He's walking across the street, right across the ring, but he's windmilling his punches. So I turn around and look at Manuel. Manuel's sitting there like, shrugs his shoulders like, I don't know. I turn around and he hits me. And then when he hit me, I just started fighting. And then we just started throwing blows. And then so in the end of the second round, they had to push him off his stool for the third round. I remember his corner had to push him off the stool. So they pushed him off the stool. He won the fight. And so when the fight was over, he won. So we started hanging around because Mick Maldonado already fought. So Manuel goes, hey, man, you know what? We better stick around, man. He goes, you might get, because they gave me a little trophy. He obviously got the big trophy, got the little trophy. I was just happy I got a trophy. I never won anything before in my life. So Manuel goes, hey, man, you should hang around because you might win another trophy. And then, I was ecstatic. I went, really? And he goes, yeah, you might get another trophy. Well, they gave me the best fighter of the night trophy. And now, mind you, I've only trained for less than a week, less than 5 days, and I'm getting the best fighter of the night trophy. And since that point on, I was hooked. Because I won a trophy. So my brother had trophies, and I won it. And that night I got 2. So it was like, from there on out, I just got into it. That was my thing. You know?
So there was never anything else that you ever considered doing other than being a professional boxer?
Nope. I really didn't like school. I'm not dumb, but I never really liked school. Wasn't my forte. I didn't mind working hard though. My dad always taught me how to work hard with my hands. And so he said, for you, you don't really like school, so I'm gonna teach you how to be a worker. And that's what he did. My brother was very educated. He has his college degrees and all kinds of stuff, and and that was his thing. Mine, I didn't mind working. I don't mind working. I don't mind working hard. It's just something that I had in me, I guess.
All right, so you get to your professional debut. I think it was in Sacramento against a man by the name of Juan Rodriguez. What do you remember about that professional debut in 1983?
Everything. I go. Me and my brother. My brother was a headliner. We're sharing the dressing room. He's helping me out, trying to give me instructions. I'm being me. I wouldn't say I was cocky. Okay, maybe a little bit, but I was more confident than cocky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, watch this. At that time, it's been 10 years. They've been training me to be better than the person in front of me. And so far, as an amateur, I think I lost 7 amateur fights. I've had over 200 amateur fights.
Yeah.
And I lost 7. So if you're asking me to be better than the guy in front of me, and I'm doing it more so than not, you have to get a little cocky. Because I'm a kid. You know what I mean? And I call it confidence, but you gotta walk that rope. Just don't be too cocky. Be confident.
Yeah.
And back then I didn't know the difference, so I was kind of acting. I could say yeah, I was a little cocky. And then so me and my brother was talking, and he goes, I just told him they called me down to come fight, and I just said, hey, I'll see you in a couple of minutes, bro. I'll be right back. He goes, man, you better watch your attitude, dude. He was going to get you hurt. I go, dude, I'm going to knock this fool out. I'll be right back. So I go down to the ring. First round, knock him out. I come back. And I'm walking into the dressing room. I'm going, yeah, man, see, that's how it goes, And so this goes on for my first 3 fights, I think I won by knockout. 2 or 3 fights I won by knockout. Maybe 3. And then I fought a guy named J.T. Walker from San Francisco who had already fought a couple 10-rounders at the time. Or 8-rounders, I'm sorry. And this was my first 6-rounder. And so here I beat a couple of Sacramento fighters, so they thought they'd put me in a little tougher to see how I'd do. So I went there. He took me 6 rounds, but I beat him. It was a unanimous decision. I beat him. I come back, and it just kept going, and then because I was young, and you're a little cocky when you're younger, or at least I was anyways. And I was just cocky because I don't know why. Not because I was a boxer. That had nothing. But that was just my personality.
Yeah.
It's just me. And so, I heard my brother was telling him, man, you better quit being so cocky. One dude's going to they're going to get you, dude. And I go, dude, what makes you think anybody can get me? But see, this is my attitude on everything I do, even to this day.
Yeah, but don't you
even
think
then, I
to
go,
be
what makes you think?
almost any great athlete I've ever met was kind of like that? I mean, you kind of got to think, especially with boxing, you kind of got to go in with a lot of confidence in yourself to begin with.
Right? And I'm just saying, I don't think when I walk into that ring and watch, I've done all the hard training. I've done all the running. I dieted my butt off. I did everything I was supposed to do and then some. I don't believe I know anybody that's trained harder than me. I trained like a dog. I sweated. I did crazy things because back then diets were different. I'd walk around at 160, fight at 130. So I had to work my butt off to get down to 130. Obviously, when I was younger, it was easier.
Yeah.
But I still had to work my butt off. And, sometimes my hardest fight was that scale. So I had to train twice as hard, twice as long as anybody that I know. And then when my attitude was, when I jumped in that ring, all the hard work is done. Now it's time to have some fun. This is the easy part. Remember, I got my butt whooped in the gym all the time, trying to perfect what I was trying to do, trying to perfect the profession that I was in for the time that I was fighting. You understand that?
Yeah.
So, so by the time I fought, it was perfected. And I can just have some fun now. Let's go to work.
So
and that's the way I conducted it.
So I think the thing that I'll always remember about you is I was in high school back in the 80s, and anytime you were fighting at the Arco Arena, it was an event. You want to tell us a little bit what it was like to fight in front of your hometown fans at the Arco?
Watch this. I can tell you, but this one time, that it was always fun fighting from the home crowd. It really was. I mean, I enjoyed Sacramento. The people there were, it was different times. The people were great. There was, if you came from Sacramento, Sacramento loves sports. To this day, they love sports. I don't care if you're any good or you're the best. Sacramento will love you and support you. They really will. And that's how they were back then. But let me tell you something. On my first world title fight with Rocky Lockridge, all this stuff is gone. I'm getting ready to come out into the ring. Rocky's in the ring already. I'm in the back. And now we're in the arena, so it's a cement floor, right? The whole arena is cement floor.
Yeah.
And, there's a hallway, but it's dark where I'm at, so nobody could see me. But I could see the fans out. You're looking out, so you can see the fans out there, the ring's out there, Rocky's up there. And I'm ready to come out. So when it's my turn to come out, the TV lights just go bang, and they just start. It's just a big flash, right? Because the lights are on them, right? This crowd went nuts. They were so loud. I'm standing on the cement slab of the arena, and my body is vibrating from the people screaming, and it pumped me up so much. Oh my God, I can't even describe it. People say, well, is it like, what's it like? What do you compare? There is nothing you can compare it to. There's nothing. Having a child is a different feeling. So they're on two different levels.
Yeah. So
there's no comparison to it. All I can say, man, it was probably the best feeling that I've ever had in my life. And you really can't describe it. It's just like their body's shaking, the people are screaming, the lights are on. And then when they say, okay, let's go, all the thinking that you're doing stops. And it just turns to tunnel vision. You don't hear the people anymore. You don't see the lights anymore. You don't see or hear anything. You're concentrating. You're going to the ring. I couldn't tell you what I was doing or what I was hearing from that place to the ring. I remember getting in the ring. I remember going on the ropes to get into the ring. I remember bouncing around the ring, hitting the ropes, and each little section of the ring coming back, and then the rest is I can tell you about the fight, but the rest is, it was just so, I don't know, it's just so unreal,
Yeah,
And I guess if anybody tried to explain it, you really couldn't.
yeah, and that's why I kind of wanted to hear how you would explain it more than even hear about the fight. And the fight itself was a great fight. Rocky Lockridge was a great fighter. And I mean, I hate to ask the old cliched, what did it feel like? But to be in your home arena with those people going nuts and have your hand raised as the new world champion had to be something that's almost indescribable.
You know, I don't. It is, and let me tell you something. That fight, if it was, because I remember that was the first 12-round fight in the state of California, because it was still 15 rounds for all title fights, but California superseded the rule and made it a 12-round fight. So that's the first 12-round fight in the state of California. You know, and people ask me, man, could you have went 3 more rounds? I go, shit, I could have went 20 more rounds if I had to. You know, because that's what you train for.
Yeah.
You know, I was fighting 12-rounder. I trained for 20. You know, I mean, I was ready. Just because I was tired in the 10th round. When I came up 2 more rounds, I was tired in the 12th round. I could have came up 3 more rounds if I had to. You know what I mean? Because that's what you train your body to do. You know, and your body has muscle memory. It's going to remember what it needs to do. You know, even when I got dropped in what round was that? The 8th round.
Yeah.
You know, talk about muscle memory. My head was moving. I didn't know it was moving, but I knew I had to move. I couldn't really see where he was at. I didn't know what he was throwing. All I knew was move your head, move your head, move your head, keep moving. You know, because that's how we train.
Well,
you know?
And the impressive thing is this: unlike fighters today, 3 months later, you're in a ring with John Molina, who was a hell of a fighter.
Oh yeah, dude, he was tough. Yeah, that boy, he was. I don't know how to explain him. Not a real big puncher. Not a soft puncher. Don't get me wrong, but not a knockout artist. You know what I mean? Not real stunning, but hit hard. But he moved so well. He was so fast. Man, there were some rounds I'm going, where the hell is this guy getting his energy from? You know, it's late in the rounds, and not even the first fight, the second fight. Because the first fight kind of just, because I'm used to people standing in front of me and punching, right? And we didn't know what kind of fighter he really was, because he came up from nowhere, right?
Yeah.
They just say, hey, you're fighting this guy named John Molina. Okay, whatever. You know, I train like normal. But this guy was a mover. You know, he didn't sit still. And that caught me off guard. So the first fight, they called a draw. Okay, I'll accept it. You know, even though I didn't think I won it big, but I definitely didn't think I lost it, you know? So, you know, that's one thing I definitely didn't think I did. So, you know, and then going out, you know, and I don't know, it was just, with him, he was tough. He was very fast, very movable. He moved side to side. 10th round, he looked like, you know, in 9th, 8th, 9th, 10th round, he looks like he's hurt. Comes back the next round like he's fresh to days, like it's round 1. I'm going, man, where's this guy getting his energy from? The second fight with Molina, I got caught, and honestly, I really don't know what it was. All I remember seeing is a flash of skin on my right eye.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, I was fighting, I really don't remember, but I remember I thought he threw a left hook, kind of a wide left hook, not like he did on purpose, he was taller than I am. And so he threw a kind of a wide left hook. I bobbed under it, but I came right back. Oh, no, I'm sorry, a right hook. But instead of his elbow dropping, because he was taller than me, right?
Yeah.
So instead of his elbow coming way down, it came a little bit down, but a little bit down was right in my eye. And his elbow hit me on my eyeball. It then forced my eye back, but your eye is obviously a socket, so your muscle tissue had nowhere to go. So it blew a hole in my socket, so all the muscle tissue can escape, right?
Yeah.
And then that happened at the end of the second round. By the time the third round came, I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see anything out of my right eye. And then the third round, I got to cut my left eye, over my left eye. So now I got this blurry vision over my left eye because of blood, and I couldn't see zero out of my right eye. And then so we go back to the corner, right? And we never trained for it, never practiced it, so we never thought it would happen. But the referee comes to the corner just before the bell rings again to go into the third round. He goes, how many fingers am I holding up? And I'm going, I don't know. I didn't say nothing, but I'm looking at him. He goes, how many fingers am I holding up? And then all of a sudden, my second in the corner, his name was Little Tony, no relation, just his name was Little Tony, taps me 3 times on my right leg. And I go, 3. And he goes, okay, you're good. I'm going, no one, he just did it. I said it, and it came out, and he goes, okay. And then for the next few rounds, this guy beat the living tart poop out of me, right? And this guy was hitting me with more punches. I thought he hit me so much, I thought the referee was hitting me, right? And there was a time, even during that fight, there was yeah, for real. And there was a time, to be honest, I was going, man, they could stop this fight at any given time, and I will not complain. I wasn't going to quit, but if the referee said to stop the fight, I'm not complaining. But he never did. And so finally, I think in the 9th round, I actually won the 9th round on the sport cards. And actually, and during the 10th round, I got hit with 2 jabs. I just don't remember. I just never saw him anymore. I just couldn't see. Hits me with 2 jabs. My head bounced back, and the referee stops the fight. And then they had that big old, they called it, right? It wasn't really a riot. People were throwing all kinds of stuff in the ring and beer bottles and beer cups and the whole 9 yards. And when the referee stopped the fight, I had that kind of mad, but I was kind of really grateful. I really was, because it hurt that bad. But you had to do that. Oh man, don't do that. I had to do it. But inside I'm going, thank you, God. There is a God. He finally stopped the fight. Because my hurt. And so then I went to the doctors the next day. I had a blown eye socket that I had gotten the second round. I didn't do too bad. I didn't quit, and then, the doctor told me, I went to this doctor, she goes, we're going to fix it up. It's better than new. I asked her, can I fight again? She goes, if you want to. So, and then after that, I came home. My dad asked me when I was, after a few months went by, because I had to take a few months off. And he goes, what are you going to do? He goes, maybe you should just hang it up. I go, well, you can, but I'm going to fight. And then he really didn't say nothing. So a few days later, I think maybe a week or 2 later, when my eye was fully healed, I started going to the gym. And I started going on my own. After about maybe 3 weeks to a month that I was going every day, my dad says, okay, well, I guess if you're going to fight, I'm going to get you another fight. So you get your tune up and you might have to fight Moon again. I go, that's what I want to do. That's what I'm training for. So we did, had a tune up, and we fought him again. That was the 3rd time in Reno. And the 3rd time, for me, the fight started while we were training. I had asked my promoter to put us both in the same hotel while we were training, and that would be Caesars in Lake Tahoe. And so he goes, why do you want to do that? And I go, you want me to win another title, don't you? He was my promoter. I go, you want me to win another title, don't you? He goes, of course. I will just put us in the same hotel. So he put us in the same hotel. We're at Caesars Lake Tahoe training. We're both training at the hotel. And we'd run at different times, and we train at different times, obviously. But, we patch each other all the time. But now he had his little clique with him. He has his little boys, his little girlfriend was there, and his little group, right?
Yeah.
So every time I would see him, I'd talk to him in Spanish. I'd go, hey, you going to run this time? And I'd make the chicken sound and walk like a chicken in front of him, right? Every time I got a chance to do it, I did it in front of people, in front of his girlfriend, in front of his trainers. He wanted to kill me. Because here's the fact. I could not outbox this man. I know that. I'm not dumb.
So you wanted him to stand in front of you and fight.
He can't outfight me.
Yeah.
Exactly. I couldn't outbox him, and he can't outfight me. So by the time the fight came, he wanted to kill me. And so the bell rang. Guess what he did? He came right at me, and we started brawling. And I think somewhere at the 3rd or 4th or 5th round, I nodded to my corner, like, okay, this one's mine. I got him. I knew from like the early 3rd or 4th round that I had him. Because he was getting hit way more. He was staying in front of me a lot more, and it would wear on me. And it did. So it worked out for me.
All right, then after that, you fought Jorge Paez, defended your title, and then early in 1991, you fought a draw with Brian Mitchell. You want to talk about about your two encounters with Brian Mitchell?
Yeah, he's another guy, and I just couldn't figure him out. The first fight, what was it, a draw? We got a draw?
Yeah.
Right? I thought it could have been a draw. I thought I won it. I thought, okay, it wasn't a big fight. Just watch this. I'm only human. I'm not going to be 100% every single fight. I'm going to try to be 100% on every single fight. But sometimes you're just not on. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Nothing's clicking. I'm not saying nothing happened in training. I'm not saying I was in bad shape. I'm not saying something was wrong. Nothing was wrong. Just that day, nothing was clicking. It just didn't work. And so we got the draw. And then, but I was also having trouble making that weight, now I'm not, I've been making 130 since I was 16 years old, and at this time I'm 29.
Yeah.
That's
hard to do.
So, and it was getting extremely hard to make that weight. And I kept telling my dad, hey, I can't make this weight anymore. We have to change. We have to go up. I can't make this one more time. You fight Mitchell one more time. You can make it one more time. So I thought, okay, I could do it. But, I'm 29 now. Now remember, when Rocky was 29, they were screaming how old he was and that he was ready. He was time for the ticket, right?
Yeah.
Well, now it's my turn, and I'm 29 years old. So now I kind of know what you're talking about. So, but we tried it. We tried it again, and I just never. For the second fight. I'm sorry. For the second fight, the fight that I lost, I never made the weight. And I killed myself on the scale. That was another thing. I killed myself on the scale. I remember before the weigh-ins, I went to a sauna for 3 hours. And I still came. I walked in that sauna at 1:30 3/4. 3 hours later, I couldn't chew gum because I had no saliva in my mouth. I couldn't chew it. So I was in plastics and sweats, and I was in the sauna trying to jump roping for 3 hours. I go to the weigh-ins. I still weighed 130 3/4. I didn't lose an ounce. And that's what killed me the second time. And that's still not an excuse because, I knew what to expect when I got there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for the third fight, now we're talking about the third fight, I told myself, I said, you know what? I'm gonna start real early. I'm gonna do everything I have to do times 10. I did it. I did it my way, and it worked. Everything worked out. And that's for the winner. Now for the Mitchell one, Mitchell was a little bit different. He could box. That boy could box a little bit. We got to draw the first time. We got to draw the first time.
Yeah.
Was it a draw? I think it was a draw.
Yeah, then he won a
and the second time.
Decision. Yeah, in the second.
Yeah, and then the second time, man, it was just, the weight was just tough to make anymore, I'm already getting old. The weight was getting kind of tough, and it was just tough to make, so. Taking nothing away from Brian, but he did, I don't know, man, he was different from me, and he didn't do nothing spectacular. He didn't do anything wrong. Don't get me wrong, he beat me, I just couldn't figure him out. There's no excuse for it. He's just that guy I couldn't figure out,
All right, so after that...
He did just enough to beat you.
Yeah. After that, though, you moved up. You get a shot at the WBA World Lightweight title against Joey Gamache. I think that was in Gamache's hometown, too, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was in Portland, Maine. Yeah.
Yeah, so how was it going from, I guess, having a home field advantage to not having a home field advantage?
Well, you know what, see, I don't know. I remember that being a big thing back then. But you know what? I'm a realist. I don't have to fight the fans. I just got to fight the guy in front of me. So, and again, when I walked into that ring, I own that ring. No matter where it was at, I owned it. It's mine. You got to come with me in my house. Good luck. And then that was my attitude. So all the fans, I didn't worry about them. So, I met some really great people there. I think Portland, Maine has some great people. I still talk to some of them on Facebook. Had a good time. There's also some people that didn't like us there. So, but I'm the outsider coming in to take the guy's crown. So I had to do what I had to do, and they had to support their man just like Sacramento would support me. So I wasn't mad at it. It's just the way the ball is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So go ahead.
No. About Joey Gamache. It was, you watch, he was fast. Didn't hit real hard.
Yeah.
But he was faster than anybody I've ever fought. And we were somewhere in the middle rounds, the late middle rounds, 8th, 9th, somewhere right there. And I remember being across from him in the corner, one of the neutral corners. And he was a little bit distant from me, and I was tired, so I wanted to take a breather, I wanted to take a breather, and so I dropped my hands just a tad, just to suck in the air, the breath, take a breather.
Yeah.
And this guy came in, hit me with a 1-2. Before I could even react, he was gone. And I remember thinking in the ring during the fight, going, "Damn, he's fast," And and my deal was this: I knew going over there, what I wanted to do is drill the body, press him, make him fight hard. And I didn't expect to win the first 6, 7 rounds. I knew I wasn't going to, but I knew I had to knock him out to win. And so I wasn't going there to win a decision. I was going there to knock him out. And it worked for me. It's just one of those things that worked out.
All right, then you get a few years later, you get to go to Mexico and fight a legend, Julio Cesar Chavez. I've always wanted to ask you about this fight because I'm still not sure why they stopped it.
Me neither. Well, I could tell you, but go ahead.
Well, my guess is it's because your best chance to win that fight was to knock his ass out late. And it was getting late, and from what I've read, he had a couple broken ribs. And he was looking for a way to get the fight over with, and there's no way they were going to let him lose to you in Mexico. That's my opinion.
Well, that's 100% right. See, there's a lot of stuff that happens. People don't understand is when you go to another country, you leave the comforts of even in the United States, you leave the comforts of Sacramento, because I'm from Sacramento. When Gamache leaves Portland, Maine, when you leave your area, you're also leaving the comforts and the advantages that you have, whether it be the people, whether it be the commission, whether it be, because they have their favorites. I mean, we're all human. I'm not afraid of that. People go, "Hey man, how come you don't travel out of town?" Well, because they pay more in Sacramento. That's why the fights, I have fights here, because they're paying more here. If they pay me more to go someplace else, guess what? Bye, Felicia. I'm gone. It's about money. I'm fighting for money. I'm not fighting for my health.
Yeah.
We're trying to make a living. So when I go to Mexico, we're training, we're doing everything right. Everything's perfect. We're training high in the mountains. I'm running so high in the mountains, and we're in Mexico City. But the mountain that we ran on was so high, we're passing clouds climbing this mountain in a car. And I'm going, "Dang, this is high." I get up there, and I came from Lake Tahoe, which is what, 4,000 or 5,000 feet.
Yeah.
And I'm trained in Mexico. We flew to Mexico to start training. And this was still like about maybe a month and a half out, month out. So we train in Mexico, and they take us to this real high mountain. I'm thinking, okay, I'm in still pretty good shape. I'm running 6, 7 miles in Lake Tahoe like it's nothing. So I'll breeze this. It'll take me a few days to get acclimated, but I'll do it. Shoot. We get up this mountain, we start running. We have a runner, our guide taking us around. And I couldn't run 3 blocks. So I'm asking this guy, I'm going, "How high is it?" And no one really knew. Nobody really knew how. But dude, we had to be somewhere. We had to be somewhere between 6,000 and 8,000 feet. There is no way in the world where we were less than 5,000 feet, because that's where I was at 5,000.
Yeah.
And I couldn't breathe up there at all. But you get acclimated, and I got acclimated, and then coming down to the fight now, and I think it's funny. It's funny to me. I mean, because boxing was fun, that like Don King, I'll tell you that later. Well, Don King was there for Chavez, right? And so
yeah,
we I signed a deal for a 5-fight deal with Don King, and Chavez was one of them. So we're in Mexico. We're at the weigh-ins. Obacar, Trino Trinidad was there. All the champions. There was 4 or 5 titles on that title.
Yeah.
Champions fighting on the card. So we're all there, and everybody's hungry. It's weigh-in. So we go in the weigh-ins, and we're ready to weigh in. Chavez doesn't come in. So, we have to wait for everybody there. So now, half hour goes by, no Chavez. An hour goes by, no Chavez. 2 hours goes by, no Chavez. 3 hours go by, no Chavez. Then all of a sudden, about 3.5 hours comes in, and everybody's pissed. Everybody's trying to get on the scale and wait. They're saying, no one touches the scale until Chavez comes in. So then all of a sudden Chavez comes in. He jumps on the scale. The scale doesn't even come close to balancing out. He's way overweight. He gets on, gets him off. They get him off right away. He's gone for another 2 hours. And we're pissed. All the fighters are pissed. And Don King's back there. All the fighters are talking smack, and they're, everybody's mad. So, and Don King's in the back, and this is funny because he's in the back and he's going, he's loving this, right? So then Chavez comes back. He jumps on the scale. He's way over 140. The scale goes straight up, and they go, okay, 140, and he jumps off. I mean, he jumped off and on so fast, it wasn't even funny. So then my dad goes, oh, hell no. He goes, get him back on the scale, blah, blah, blah. He didn't have to wait, blah, blah, blah. And everybody's, and all the seems like the world cameras are there, all the sports people from all the places over there. And they're all filming and this and that. My dad's yelling, and he starts yelling at the WBC president. What's his name? Suleiman, Jose Suleiman.
Jose Suleiman. Yeah.
He starts yelling so my dad's yelling at Jose Suleiman. Jose Suleiman's yelling back at my dad. And my dad goes, see? But he's talking in Spanish. Everything's in Spanish. He's going, see? He goes, that's why nobody wants to fight for you, because you're a cheater. So this is funny. And my dad's a little guy. He's only like 5'5", but he used to be a boxer. He's not afraid of anybody. He thinks he's 6'9". Anyways, so he calls him a cheater and this and that. So Jose Suleiman gets mad. He wants taking off his jacket. And so my dad starts taking off his jacket, and they want to start fighting. And Don King's in the background. This is no kidding. Don King's in the background going, he's loving this. It was crazy.
That helps sell the fight.
So all this, oh my God, it was crazy. And so people are separating them and this and that. And so I told my dad, I go, who cares what he weighs? I go, he could be 20 pounds overweight. It doesn't matter at this point. I mean, we're champions. This is what we do. He could weigh 200. I wouldn't give a shit. I mean, I'm sorry. I wouldn't give a hoot, right?
You're all right.
It's fight time. And I go, it's fight time. It doesn't matter. So then, so we get on the scale. I weigh in at 140. So everybody weighs in, and so everybody's kind of dispersed now. And Chavez is kind of like in the middle of this, right? Me and my dad are talking face to face, and there's a little gap between us. And Chavez is to our left, and he wants to get by. And so he tells my dad, but he says it in a bad manner, like in a rude way. He goes, I'm trying to get by. So my dad looks at him, and he goes, in Spanish, he goes, you want to get by? Grabs him by his arm and shoves him through us, pushes him through. He goes, get by, and just throws his arm off, right? And Chavez turned around and looked at him, and then when he did that, I mean, that's my dad. Don't get it twisted. So when he did that, I flexed up like I was going to drop him. I was going to hit him back. And I just looked at him and go, I showed him in Spanish. I go, go ahead. I go, do it. Go ahead. And he just turned around and walked out. And then, there's a bunch of crazy stuff that happened before it even happened. Fight night, when they came to watch me wrap up, but they wouldn't allow us to go watch him wrap up. So, they're going, because, when you're fighting for titles, each corner can go to the other corners and watch them wrap. That's what's supposed to happen, right? Well, they definitely came to mine, but they wouldn't let us go to his. So we don't know what he wrapped himself with. And I've been saying this from day one. I said, he didn't really hit hard. I go, but it felt like not like it didn't feel like he never hit me with things that I remotely even thought was going to knock me out or probably, right?
Yeah.
But when he hit, it felt real solid. And I've been hit with guys with heavy hands and real heavy hands, and those don't even bother me, But when he hit, and his punches didn't bother me, but they felt solid. Now I'm just saying, look, and the fight's already happened. The rules are what it is, and I really don't care. But to me, it sounded like he has something in either he put that liquid cement on his gloves or in his hand wraps, or he had something, because something was different. It was definitely different. Yeah. Because he didn't hit with anything that remotely even thought I was going to knock me out. But like in that fight, my eyes swelled up like it never had before in my lifetime. I had all these amateur fights, all these pro fights. I never had swollen eyes like that. Even after the fight was over, I fought for another 5 years. It's never happened again. I was getting older, but it never happened again. That's the only fight in my career that ever happened like that. And then when they stopped the fight, it was kind of crazy because I told him the whole time I was there, I go, I'm not here to beat this guy to win the decisions. I'm here to knock him out in the last 2 rounds of the fight. I go, I'm gonna box for 10 rounds. Last two rounds, we're going to war. And I said the whole time, I said the last interview that me and Chavez had together was like a day before the weigh-ins. And I told him, hey, look, dude, I'm talking to him in Spanish. I'm fluent Spanish, so I'm talking to him in Spanish, and we're doing TV, next to TV. And they're going, hey, Tony, what's going to happen? I go, look, like I've said the whole time, I'm going to box for 10 rounds. After 10 rounds, I go, with championship rounds, I'm knocking them out. I'm taking home the title. I go, that's what I'm here for. And I'm not here to win the decision. So then in the 10th round, I get this little cut over my eye in the second round. It took 2 stupid little stitches to close my eye. 2. I kid you not. My doctor, Steve Burrow, who's from Sacramento, he used to come to all my fights. He was my ring doctor too, right? And he'd do all the stitches. He always stitched me up right after the fight. It took him 2 stitches to close this little cut. It never got in my eye. It never bothered me. It never did anything. 10th round, and I watched the fight, but it doesn't show it in the fight. But, in the 10th round, Chavez motioned to the referee, like, to look at my eye. The referee comes to my side, grabs me, takes me to the doctor. The doctor never climbed up on the ring. Now, mind you, we're on the rings are what, 3 feet above the ground?
Yeah, so
and then
you're
I'm
like 7 feet above him or 8 feet above him,
Yeah, above his head. I'm about 8 feet now, about 7 feet above his head, right? He looks up. I'm looking down. He goes, let me see your eye. He's saying in Spanish, let me see your eye. And I go, no, I'm fine. And he goes, no. He goes, ya se acabó, which means, no, it's over. And so I go, no. I go, let me finish up this round. I'm talking to the guy in Spanish. I go, let me finish up this round. I go, if I don't knock him out in this round, I go, you can take the fight. I wouldn't even care. I would never complain. But let me finish this round. And he goes, oh, no. Ya se acabó. No, it's over. And I thought, okay, whatever. Because once they call. They're going to do what they want anyway. I'm not going to sit there and look at and cry. It is what it is, And then that was that, But, that's kind of one of the biggest disappointing fights that I've ever had in my life. Because I didn't get to do what I came to do. What I came to do is take them out in the last 2 rounds. They let me go to the 10th round. They didn't let me get into the 11th round. Now, to me, let's just say it didn't go my way. And he knocked me out in the 11th and 12th round. Okay. But you know what? I would get knocked out fighting. I would not get knocked out running. That's for sure. And I never got to do that.
Yeah, you never got the opportunity to see if you could do it or not.
Myself.
Yeah.
Right. But I'll tell you one thing. After the fight, he gave he talked to the TV afterwards. He was first. He talked to the TV, and then he left right away. It was kind of weird. So when the fight was over, the doctor goes to the dressing room and he starts getting the sutures ready for my eye, right? So he's already in the back in the locker room while we're still up in the ring. He said that Chavez came down, and then they're yelling for a doctor. They're going, doctor. Well, somebody goes out and gets him, my doctor, because they know he's a doctor. So he comes out. They call him. He comes out, and they're telling him they're trying to translate. Can you check him? His ribs are hurting. And so the doctor checked him, said he had 2 broken ribs. And he goes, because when I came back out, he goes, you know why they stopped this fight, right? I go, yeah, because of my eye. I go, which is BS, And he goes, no, that's not why they stopped the fight. And then he told me the story, how they came out and they grabbed him and he checked him out. He goes, he had at least 2 broken ribs on him. He goes, that's why that fight was stopped. And I go, well, we're Mexico. As long as my check cashes, I don't care. We got to do what we got to do, right? Yeah. And that's the reality of boxing, So, I'm a realist, man. There's nothing, crying over a spilled milk that's already spilled is doing no good, right?
Yeah, you got to feed your family.
That's right.
So
you don't got to fight another day. Keep surviving.
So from talking to you, I take it if I ask you if you had any regrets, your answer would probably be no?
0.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I love my boxing life.
Yeah, it's hard because people don't understand that hard work will make it a lot more likely that you don't have any regrets when you look back at your career.
Yeah, no, I don't. And then when it was time to hang him up, I made a deal with my dad that to never tell me to hang it up until he really seen that it was time to hang it up.
Yeah.
And I said, then I would believe him, And so my last fight, I got beat by a kid that should never been beat. But you know what? I can make every excuse up in the world. But here's what it is. I lost, you know. And I told myself, if I lose, because I was making a comeback, I go, if I make a comeback, if I lose any time before I get another title fight, I'll just quit. Whether I think I lost, or whether I should have lost, or whether, no matter what happens, I quit. And so I went to Palm Springs, had a fight in Palm Springs, fought a guy that was, you know, it was kind of like one of them old TV boxing movies where they take the old champion and they're trying to bring up this new kid, and you know, they don't give like I was there for like 2.5 weeks before the fight. They told me to come in. I didn't want to go, but they made me kind of go, right?
Yeah.
Oh, for TV, and we got to sell the fight and all this stuff. And so reluctantly I went. Well, by the time I went, we saw about maybe, because I argued with them for a while, but we saw maybe 11 days before the fight, right? Let me just tell you this right now. I've never seen a boxing gym for that fight to this day. I've never seen my driver to this day for that fight. We landed at like around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I got to Palm Springs from L.A. around 2 o'clock in the morning because we waited for a driver, a cab, and everybody else to come, but no one came. And then I told my dad at that time, I go, well, you know, this is how it's going to be. I go, we need to go back home, go to the gym, and start training back up. We'll come back up the day before the weigh-in. And he goes, well, you know, let's check it out. We have to, you know, we're here. We have to do, you know, we're here. We just figure it out. So I trained at 24-hour fitness for that fight. For the final 2 weeks of that fight, I trained at 24-hour fitness. I hit mitts and jump rope. That's all I did. I was overweight. I had to go to sauna. I had everything that, you know, and for an old fighter, I was a week away from my 36th birthday. You know, and I just beat a kid who was 21 or 22 years old, who was 20-something to know with 20-something knockouts or something like that. He had a really good record. Yeah. They had him favored, you know. And when I stopped him early, I stopped him like the 4th, 5th, or 6th round, something like that. And that's how I won that NABO title. And this was the first defense of my NABO title. And then, you know, I just never got a chance to train for it. And then he was hitting the punches that, man, I seen coming, but I just couldn't move. You know, my body wasn't going to move. And then, so I went back to, after I lost, I went back to my trailer because they didn't have dressing rooms back there. It was a new casino in Indio. And they had a big, beautiful trailers, so motorhomes. And I went to the motorhome, and I'm all by myself. And it's funny because I walk into the trailer, I'm all by myself, and I go, wow. I go, and I'm talking to myself. I'm going, this is how it really is. Huh? I'm looking around. There's nobody around. Now, remember, after fighting for world titles, after winning NBO titles, after winning all this stuff, you go in your dressing room, there's thousands of people around you. Everybody's tapping you in the back, telling how great you were, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm in the room, and I'm all by myself. I just lost a fight. I'm all by myself. And I'm thinking, wow, this is how it ends. Wow, what a trip. And so, you know, I'm sitting there going, man, I can beat this guy. I just didn't get the training that I needed, but I can beat this guy. I'm talking to myself that, you know, I can beat this guy. And I'm kind of mad because the way things went down, and all of a sudden some guy taps on my door, comes in. It was the referee. Then he says to me, he goes, hey, Tony, he goes, how you feeling? And I feel fine. He goes, yeah, I kind of figured you would. And I look at him, I go, why'd you stop the fight? You know what, dude? And he just broke it down. He just says, Tony, he goes, you're a good fighter. I like you. He goes, all of us referees talk. And we all say that you're a good fighter. You're a great fighter. He goes, man, you won 3 world titles. He goes, you beat a kid your last fight, whoever you thought you would never beat. He goes, and you're not 10 all great fast. He goes, man, he goes, what more can you do? He goes, you've already done it all. He goes, man, he goes, if I think you're hurt and you kind of look hurt, or even if you don't look hurt, but I'm looking at your eyes and you look hurt, he goes, I'm going to stop the fight. He goes, and a lot of us referees feel the same way. He goes, because we like you. You're a nice guy. He goes, take your money, open a business, and raise your family. Because I had my daughter was like, I don't know, she was like 2 or 3 years old at the time. Or maybe she was, she was like 4 years old at the time. And she goes, and then he says, when your daughter's 18 and you can still say, remember and know her name, he goes, at that point you'll thank me. He goes, but he goes, I'm just telling you, Tony. He goes, it's your boxing career. You do what you want. I'm suggesting, because of all the referees talk, if you don't want the outcomes like you got this, you should quit. And he goes, have a nice life, good luck. And he walks out. And I'm going, wow. But I'm listening to him because I'm not stupid. I'm also listening to him. I'm going, wow, trip, okay. Then when he walks out, another guy walks in. Guy walks in. He's kind of not flashy, but kind of a real nice guy, averagely dressed. He goes, hey, are you going to keep going? I go, no, man. He goes, you know what? I go, the guy that just walked out here convinced me that I'm done. I go, dude, I'm retired. He goes, you sure? I go, yeah. He goes, well, you already made one comeback. I go, no, dude, I'm done. He goes, hey, you want to sell me your shorts? And, I had, because remember, I was the first guy to come out with the Mexican-American flag shorts, right?
Yeah.
So he goes, hey, man, he goes, want some of them shorts? I go, dude, you can have them, bro. I go, I quit. I'm done. He goes, no, I want to buy them. I go, no, you can have them. I'm giving them to you. So we argue. This goes on it seems like an hour, maybe a minute, right?
Yeah.
So finally, we're going back and forth. So finally, I go, okay, dude, I tell you what, give me $1,000. So this guy pulls out a wad of hundreds out of his pocket. A wad. I'm talking about a wad, right? Like Mayweather wad of money. And I'm going, dude, I'm only kidding, man. You can have it. He goes, no, Tony, you don't understand. He goes, I'm from the New York Boxing Hall of Fame. He goes, and one day your shorts, he goes, my job's to come out and buy your shorts at any price you got. He goes, now you told me $1,000, I'm going to pay you $1,000. I go, man, I'm at $5. He goes, no, you already said $1,000. And he goes, you already said $1,000. He goes, so I'm going to pay you $1,000. He goes, and one day your shorts will be hanging up in the museum at the New York Boxing Hall of Fame. I go, right on, man. So he gave me the $1,000. He gave him the shorts. He took off. And that was my career. That's how it ended.
Did you ever go to the Hall of Fame to see if they were there?
I went one time to see Michael Carbajal because Michael Carbajal is a buddy of mine. Yeah. So when he got inducted into New York, when I was there, but no, he said he told me, I go, when? He goes, it could be this year, next year, 10 years. He goes, who knows? But one day they'll be there. So, and I went to the museum, but I didn't see anything. I saw a lot of Ali stuff in there, and I had a really good time there. As a matter of fact, I like that New York Boxing Hall thing. It's a good spot.
All right. So, what have you been doing since you retired?
Let's see. I got a bail bonds business. Been doing bail bonds bounty hunting for the last 18 and a half years. I ran for mayor of Sacramento. I've been having a blast. I still do a lot of stuff with boxing. In town, out of town, different countries, different states. I do a lot of stuff. I went to Honduras to help them get a boxing program started over there in Honduras, and that was cool. And I've just been doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, doing a lot of stuff. I do a lot of stuff with charities. People call me. I go to different states. They fly me out, put you up. You just come out, you play some golf, you give speeches to kids, you do whatever you got to do, and I do it. It's fun. I have a good time doing it. I have a good time meeting people. And, I just having a good time. My latest thing now is, and I've been doing it for a long time. I keep saying my latest, but I started in, John Travolta in that movie Phenomenon?
Yeah.
You ever seen the movie Phenomenon?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a kid that's sick in the room, and he's calling for John Travolta because he wants to talk to him. So John Travolta, and I guess he's sick in a room or something, some little room. And so John Travolta was running inside this guy's room from outside. They're falling from outside to go inside this room. Well, before he goes inside the house into the room, there's an old truck in front, and there's a Mexican farm worker behind that truck. I'm that Mexican farm worker, and so that was my first glimpse at the movie things. So then I kind of got the bug. It was kind of fun for me, I kind of talked to John Travolta for a little bit. Everybody knew who I was, right? Yeah. So I mean, at the time I was still fighting at the time, so everybody knew who I was. So I'm talking to a bunch of different actors. They're cool. We're having a good time. And so I kind of got the bug then. Now since then I've done I've done maybe 30 movies since then.
Yeah.
Never a major role or nothing like that. Always playing the backside. But I don't do extra stuff anymore. I haven't done extra stuff. That was the only time I was an extra. I don't do extra stuff. I have speaking roles. I do a lot of stuff for the internet. I got a few things. I got a couple of them, 3 of them coming up this year. And then I got a few things in the pot. So I've been doing it all just on my name and I guess my personality. Because I don't have an agent. I just got an agent like about a month ago. The first week I got an agent, I went in and did a Telemundo commercial for Mexican Telemundo.
Yeah.
I did a commercial for them, and that was a pretty good chunk of change. It wasn't it wasn't tens of thousands, but it was a chunk of change. And so I'm just doing what I do now. I think my movie stuff's starting to take off now. So I got a couple of big projects that I just finished that looks like they're going to do really well. So we'll see what happens.
Anything you want to talk about, or?
No, but it's fun. I mean, there's like people ask me like, what are the movies about? I don't know. I go do my part. I do my part and I leave. I don't read scripts. I do read scripts. I read my part. And I do my part. I read my part. I read a page before my part. After a couple of pages, my part's over. I read a page after my part, and I'm done. I don't need to know the whole movie. I just need to know what I'm about.
Yeah.
And that's what I really care about. I just got to perfect my performance. I haven't really. I have quite a few movies out there that I've never really paid attention to. I just done a lot of them on the internet. They're on that. What's that one? That one where you can look at movies. I don't know what this thing called. It's on the internet, anyways. But I have quite a few movies on the internet. They're not major roles, but they're not tiny roles either. They're all speaking roles. I'm in the movie. You can go, hey, there's Tony Tiger. And you go, hey, there he is again. Oh shit, there he is again.
Well,
so
you got to start somewhere.
So, right?
You didn't fight for the title in your pro debut. It took a little while.
Right? And because of my name, I've gotten to talk to a lot of important people in the movie business, which is pretty exciting. I mean, I got to talk to Tony Tarantino about doing a movie with him and his son. I went to LA to go meet with him. He saw one of my movies at a film festival back east somewhere. And then he calls me up and says, hey, I want you for a film. And, it's kind of trippy. We went to LA, we met up with him. And, I get a lot of stuff like that. It's just kind of one of them things. I guess one career housed me out in this career, so
yeah,
we'll find out.
All right, Tony, I want to thank you for coming on the show. It was great having you on. Loved watching you when I was younger on, I think it was NBC Sports World with Bertie Pacheco and them, but great to have you on the show. I hope everything works out for you with the movies. Maybe we can have you back after you win your first Academy Award.
There you go. There it is. I'll be back.
You never know.
Hey, never know. Funny things have happened. I know a guy won a world title before.
Yep.
Yeah.
But all right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
I appreciate
Tony.
it, buddy.
All right,
all right
guys.
Brian,
I want to. Yep.
Take
Thanks. I want to remind everybody you could go on and hear our interviews all week from the Boxing Legends show. We've had on Chuck Wepner, Bones Adams, Alex Ramos, and now, of course, Tony Lopez. Make sure you check out all of our shows. Go to thegruelingtruth.net. Click on the mybookie.ag logo if you want to bet some money on some games this weekend or the fights. Check out Inside Boxing Weekly. We got a preview for Cotto and Saddam Ali. Sunday night we'll be live at 9 o'clock Eastern to preview the big Lomachenko-Rigondeaux fight. Of course, it'll be myself, Jeremiah Pricer, John Einreinhofer, and Michael Montero will be joining us for that show. So, for Tony Lopez, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.